Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And today let's talk about Lightroom workflow. So Adobe make a lot of updates in this Lightroom app. I mean the new one, not the beloved Lightroom Classic, but the new one on the app that works on mobile devices and your computer also. For that we need some photos. Let me introduce you to Flora.
Hola!
So, Flora is also from the Azores, so maybe you're gonna see us talk Portuguese and
Açoriano. Michaelas.
and e açoriano. Provavelmente nem os portugueses vão perceber o que a gente está a dizer, mas não faz mal.
Não faz mal.
Also, we had the help of Jack.
Hello.
And also
Sorry, I'm French.
also had the help of Ruben and Susanna on the photo shoot. So let's take some pictures to work them on Lightroom. Montage.
Olá, nós somos
O quê?
os assistentes do Miguel.
Ah, então, já que estavas a apresentar, continuavas, não é? Está aqui o frio do caraças e... Novidade, Miguel está de t-shirt!
Não sei se é ele, se é ela, ou pior.
Ah, pois, sim, claro. Sim. Ah, não, ela está com o casaco, mesmo assim dá melhor.
Well everyone, now that we have our pictures, let's copy them from the camera to Lightroom. So Lightroom, it's not only an editing photo program and app, it's also a cloud management app. I am a Adobe subscriber, so I have 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, and depending of your subscription, maybe you have 20, maybe you have even more. So I'm gonna plug the USB cable from my camera to my smartphone using an OTG adapter. So this is from USB-A to a USB-C. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna plug it on my phone like so. By default, I put my Android phone saying open this on Lightroom. Now I can see the files on my camera and I can select what I want to import. Really nice and dandy. So on the top also there, I can't choose not to see the JPEG files because I don't really care, but I don't shoot JPEG anyway, so okay. You can select all or you can select none. Okay, so I'm gonna just select like 3 photos and click on add. So where do you want to put those photos? All photos, it's by default are all there and organized by date. I want to add to Flora album. I already created the album and I already imported the photos for time saving. But if you want to add another album or folder, you can click on plus and create that. Of course, if you import the same photos, Lightroom recognizes that it's the same photos and won't duplicate everything. As we already transferred the photos to the cloud, now I'm gonna check the photos with Flora and she will rate the photos. That means that she's gonna choose the ones that she likes or the ones that she doesn't like. Also, I made some color grading on some photos. She's gonna tell me if she likes that look or not, or maybe that's way too much, that I want to have more saturation, less, and we can do that on the fly directly on the app and update it directly to the cloud. If you know me by now, you know that I really prefer use Lightroom on the tablet. Let's launch Lightroom app here, and there we go. In the top menu here, the first thing, it's the account. So it's some basic information about your account. So I am using a Bluetooth mouse so you can see where I am clicking around on the tablet. Let's go to Preference. So here in Preference it gets a little bit interesting. So you can enable auto add. What the hell is auto add? If you take a lot of pictures that you want to save directly to the cloud, you can enable here. For example, I don't want the JPEGs or PNGs, I just want the RAWs. For example, this is really nice to have if you take a lot of pictures on your smartphone and you want an instant backup. So let's go back in here. Also you have sharing options, okay? You can add a watermark. That is not the most impressive watermark, but you have the option there. Also, if you want to share the metadata, the captations and all that information, okay? Also, you can activate or deactivate the cellular data and so on. So I invite you yourself to explore the preference on Lightroom because you have a lot of stuff, okay? So let's go back. And now in device info and storage, it's a really cool thing. So in here, you can see how much storage you used on the Adobe Cloud. Also, you can activate or deactivate the SD card use. If you want to store locally on your Android device and you have an SD card, a big one like mine, it's 128 gigabytes. Of course, I want to store that on the SD card instead of storing it on the memory of the tablet or of the phone. So also, if you see that your phone and the app it's getting a little bit slow, you can clean the cache over here. So that is nice. So in here I can add more photos to the Lightroom cloud. Also I can click here in plus. You can create an album or a folder. I prefer the album because you can share albums. So let me show you what I'm on about. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna send her the album. So let's go here. The album that we already made, and I gonna here share to web, and now I have a lot of settings that I can change. So I'm gonna enable this. I'm gonna go to sharing options and I'm gonna activate allow downloads and also show metadata if you want or not. On this case I don't think that is important, and let's go back and let's share link. Now that I have the link, I'm gonna send to Flora via Instagram page. So I'm gonna look for her over here and I'm gonna send her a message and paste the link over here, and she will receive the gallery.
Ah, c'est bon.
How simple and how cool is that? Just as an example, I'm gonna show you what happens to share to web. So I already copied the link. Let's go to the web browser over here and let's open a new, paste the link. It's not only pasting the link, it's also pasting the description. Let's just delete the description and let's press enter. So there we go. How nice is that? So I'm gonna slide down like so. This is 100% web-based, so anything can read this page. I can click on the image like so. I can add comments or like down here. Also, I can check out the information right here. Download the image like so. There we go. Really cool stuff. You can start a presentation like so. That is really nice. You can go full screen in here. Boom. Start the slideshow. How cool is that? But to add some comments or to rate the photos, she needs to create an Adobe account. Okay, that account is free, but come on Adobe, you can do better than that. Another thing, and that is really new, it's now that Lightroom have face recognition. So here in people, I can click on it, and as you can see, there is the people that I already uploaded and take some pictures of, and automatically sometimes Lightroom do a good job, but as you can see, Flora, it's here and here. I have to tell Lightroom that it's the same person, and it will get smarter and smarter, so it's suggesting that I merge, okay? If I click here, this is the same person, yes, it's the same person, and merge, and and let's go back. And as you can see, now the photos are in here. Nice. Now what I'm gonna do, it's actually rename this, and I want to call this Flora because it's the name of the model. There we go. As you can see, now she has a name. How cool is that? Now inside of the album, I'm gonna show you another tricks that I use with Lightroom. If you can see here, there is a small icon saying that I want to see 4 or more stars from this photo shoot. So if I click X, you can see all the photos here. Okay, but if I just want to see the photos, make a selection, I click here on the funnel and I can say that I want to see 4 or more stars. Really, really cool. So if I want to classify the photos, I just click on the star over there, and as you can see, I have the stars down here and the flag, refuse flag and check flag over here. So, and you can actually rate them like so. If you click and drag from the left, you can add some stars or remove stars, okay? And if you are clicking on the right, you can approve, reset this, or unapprove the photo. Just a small detail in how to rate the photos on the smartphone, because it's a little bit different. And let's press on it. As you can see, I am on edit mode. On the top there, I'm gonna select rate and review. There we go. And now, if I slide up and down on the left, I can add or remove the stars. Okay, so by default, I want this one to be 5 stars. And on the right, you can add an approval flag or an unapproved flag, like so. Really, really simple. There we go.
Ça sert à quoi les étoiles?
Les étoiles, c'est pour exemple, tu veux donner 5 étoiles, 4 étoiles, comme ça t'aide à faire une sélection des photos. Quelles photos je dois corriger avant les autres, parce que ça c'est plus prioritaire, okay. D'accord?
Mais c'est juste pour que toi tu te repères dans ta galerie.
Oui, eu vou ganhar mais tempo, porque faço a edição das fotos que tu já queres. Also down here you can see that there is the info button that you can give this photo a title, any captations and copyright information, and there's the people here. Also some keywords if you want to make this a better way to search, okay? So to edit image, the most important tool that you need visible, it's up here and show histogram. So if you don't know how histogram works, I'm gonna try to explain. As you can see here, there is the volume of exposure of your image, okay? In here you have the darks, the shadows, the midtones, the highlights and the whites. So this image almost clips on the right that it's almost overexposed, but it isn't. As you can see here, if it was overexposed, it would look like this. Half a stop, it's enough to overexpose this image. As you can see, there is no details on the whites, and as you can see here. So let's just click back. Also, as you can notice as well, the blue channel, it's a little bit closer from clipping. That's why the whites has this blue tone. That is really, really nice. Just to make sure, I also avoid trying to clip the blacks, so I know that everything on this image, especially on this kind of image, everything doesn't fall to darkness. So let's edit the photos. So what I'm gonna do is show you how you can achieve this look on this photo. Let's start here in the adjustments. If I press auto, it will try to do something nice, and actually I do approve, but it's not done. Let's continue. What I like to do, it's actually remove a lot the contrast, okay? So if the image is blurry here, that means that my tablet is trying to correct that and give me a preview, and it can't give me a knitted image while doing so. So I remove a lot of contrast. Well, maybe a little bit too much because the snow it's white. I want to have white stuff in here, but what I'm gonna actually use, it's the curves. So it's pre-selected by red because I worked before in red. So if I want to use the RGB all at once, I can use it and try to add a contrast manually, like so. Actually the blacks are actually way good, so I'm gonna only bump up the whites like so, looking way better. So I'm gonna deactivate this, the curve. Let's close down the light menu. Let's go to color. Not yet. Let's go to effects. So the first thing that I want to do on effects, as you can see, you have clarity, dehaze, that it's cool to remove a little bit of fog, and vignetting. Actually, on this picture I want to add a little bit of vignetting. Our main focus is on the model. If you activate the vignetting, you can see that you can control the midpoint, the feather, and the roundness. Of course, I'm gonna just leave it as it is because it's already really good. I want to add a little bit of clarity. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna double click on the image, and like so, it zooms in 100% pixel by pixel. The image, it's not sharp yet. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit, not too much. Now that we are zoomed in, I want to work a little bit on the details. So in here, I can add some sharpening or remove it. For the moment, everything looks good. So let's close it. Also in optics, it's enabled by default the lens correction. That is really nice, and it did recognize the lens. That is the 70-100 over here. In this case, actually, let me just check. I prefer without the lens correction. Sometimes in portrait, some lenses perform better than the corrections. But if you are photographing like something like buildings and geometry stuff, that lens correction makes miracles. But in this case, I don't want it. Okay, let's close optics, and you have geometry. So this is great to correct some perspective and stuff like this also. So for the moment, let's leave it as it is. Now I'm gonna zoom in, as you already did see before. So these dots and these dots over here, I don't like it. So let's use here the spot healer. In here I can control the size of the spot healer. Actually, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit further. So to zoom in, you can use your fingers like so. And very important, if you want to move around, if you just use just a click like so, you're gonna start the healing process. I don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is use also the two fingers to move around. So this size, it's way too big. So let's reduce this a little bit, something like so. I can also change the feather and the opacity, but I'm gonna leave it as it is, and let's try to clean these two dots over here. I want to sample from there. So I advise you to take your time checking out all our skin, but for saving time, let's click and done. Now I want to crop this a little bit. So for crop, there is way too much on the top. So by default, it preserves the original. I just want to have it in custom. And now I can. Interesting. So her face is a little bit on the center now. And let's click done. There we go. Now let's make the magic on the colors. Okay. So let's go back to colors. And in here you can transform this image in black and white. But what I want to do now, at the beginning now, I want to put this image a little bit colder. So like so. So everything, it's a little bit colder. I want to add a little bit of more vibrance. Also, I like around her. I don't like how she's looking now because she's a little bit way to the blue. So what I'm gonna do now, go to selective editing. So here in selective editing, I can add some brush selection or wound selection or degradee selection. So what I'm gonna do is actually use this selection. So I'm gonna just click and drag like so. As you can see, the red area, it's the affected area. Let's let's push it a little bit down. So you can in here add more feather or less feather, like so. Let's leave it like so. I want to push this a little bit over here. As you can see, it's affecting also the leaves here. I don't want that, so you can actually paint out what you don't want. And of course, there is the size of the brush and the feather of it, okay, and the opacity. If you want harsh or just a little bit smooth, I want it very harsh, so this is way too big, so I'm gonna use it a little bit smaller. I won't be much detailed, but if you make a mistake like if you want to go back, you can use the back tool, okay, and let's try to warm up a little bit her skin. So let's go to the opposite of blue, that is yellow, and there we go. Much better. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in. I don't want this to affect her eyes. So as you can see here, we have a problem that the mask, it's still there. So in the computer app, you actually can paint back that. In the Android app, you can't really do that. So what I actually do to resolve this problem, it's long press here, duplicate the mask. So there is a new mask over here, and as you can see, there is no brush. Go back to this one and long press and delete mask. It's a little bit annoying, but that's the only workaround that I did find out. So let's zoom in and let's go back. Just recover her eyes over here, like so. Well, it's a bit better. There we go, let's click on done. The times to times I advise you to click again on before and after. So let's get the look. What I'm gonna go, it's on here. You can see this color wheel. If I slide down, you can see that I can control the color directly here. The leaf sits around this color, and there is yellow and the other colors, but I'm gonna show you this really cool trick. You can click on here, say that what you want to change, it's the hue, okay, and now you can go over here and you can see that Lightroom, it's pre-selecting which colors it has to change, and I can click and drag. Okay, nice, I like it. So let's go back to the saturation also, and actually what I'm gonna do is go around the same colors and just saturate a little bit. So as you can see now, we have another problem. Her skin is way too red. So let's try to correct that. Let's go back to the selection and let's try to paint her skin. For time saving, I'm gonna be a little bit quicker here. And the opposite of red is green, so let's push this to green. And also, as you can see, the saturation, it's way too much, so let's reduce it too. That's very nice. It's looking quite good. So the before and after. Let's go here to this selection, not of the skin, but everything, and just push it a little bit to the green. Too much. Okay, like so. Now I want her eyes to pop. So I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit with my two fingers, make a round selection. And it's a really small one that you want, like so. Again over here. Another thing that is annoying that we can do on the computer, it's rotate this bad boy. I can't rotate this in the app. If you know the solution for this, please leave it down on the comments, but on the computer you can rotate this oval thing. What I want to do, push up the saturation, like so, quite a lot of sharpening, add some sharpening here, and let's close the color, and just a small exposure touch over here. Very, be careful with this, because sometimes it's way too much, so just something like so. Blacks, I want to have it really black to add some contrast. So her eyes are popping because she has a really beautiful eyes, and I want people actually notice. So let's long press here on this selection here, duplicate mask, there we go, and let's go put it here, like so. So I need this one to be a little bit more up, bigger, and a little bit smoother too. Looking good. So let's click on done, double click to zoom out, before and after. We went too much on the exposure on our eye, so let's go back, select this thing, and instead of a half a stop, that's way too much, just do something like so. Way better. So around 22, so we're gonna do the same thing here. It's good, let's click done. There we go. You imagine that it's a little bit annoying, do all this work for all the pictures. You can use this template that you already made and copy them to other photos. I'm gonna go here, user presets, and I'm gonna, as you can see, I already did a few of them, so I'm gonna do it, create a new one, up, create preset, and also the tools I wanted, and let's call this preset leaves. Okay, let's press enter and save this. So I'm gonna press cancel because I don't want to apply anything here. So let's go here to the other photo, go back here, and Flora red leaves, here it is, and there we go. Let's click done. So as you can see, it did copy the look. It needs a little bit of course, of adjustments. The brush tool that we applied, it's not there. You have to redo it. Well everyone, actually there is a way to copy the brush. Terribly sorry, I just figured this out. Just make sure that the menu, editing menu, it's open, okay? And now you can go up here to the menu over here and copy settings. Behold, on tools, you have the brush. So just copy everything, or you can just select only the brush, like so. I just learned a new thing! Okay, done. How easy and cool is that? I already did the that I already did some looks. Now that you are done editing the image, you want to export it from Lightroom. So you have two options to do that. So let's go here on the top menu and export original. So what this is gonna do is export the CR2 file, the raw Canon file, that is the original image, and an XML file explaining the changes that you made to the raw file, all the editing steps that you already done. That is cool, but it's not what we want here. What we want is export to device, okay? If I click here, you can see to save to the device, you have two options. So the highest quality, so we're gonna make a JPEG with the max resolution written down here, and also you can limit it to over 2000 pixels, and this is great to export, for example, to Histogram or your social media. So let's export this. Boom, done. So everyone, so evident. Well done everyone, here we have the workflow on Lightroom. This is a personal workflow. If you have any tips that you want to add, please leave it down below on the comments. So a special thanks to Ruben and Susanna. I'm gonna leave their Instagram's links on the description. Also thank you very much to Jack by filming this. Jack also have a YouTube channel and he has an Instagram, so also down below on the description. And a special thanks to the talent today, Flora. You can also find her Instagram down below on the
description.
And she also have a YouTube channel if you want to check out some tips on how to be a model, how to pay some special attention while you are with a photographer. I'll leave her YouTube channel also on the description. So there we go, we are in the end of the video. Yeah. So drop a like if you learned something, add a comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I am Miguel, until next time, see ya.
Ciao. Oh, mas também podes cortar mais um bocadinho.
Isto para a tua página do Facebook funciona?
Sim, funciona.
Então já vou.
Deixa eu ver, está gira. Ai, eu gosto, está gira.
Ok?
Yeah.
Ou tu preferes este look? Apesar da pele não estar bem trabalhada,
Yeah,
mas eu
a pele não
prefiro.
está trabalhada. Eu acho que prefiro esse.
Eu também prefiro este.
Esse